sex talk can be uncomfortable yet memorable experience for most children in public school. I remember walking into school one day in middle school and knowing that I was going to have to go and listen to the video of somebody giving birth. I was not ready for that, but it is a talk that is needed and needed to be learned. So although this talk might seem bad, it is crucial in the development of the rest of our lives. Some children have not even touched on the topic of sex in school. Instead, they learn based off of their friends, their parents, or other information such as social media and things like that, which can lead to misinformation and not allowing them to actually know what they're talking about or what's going on. Sex education is very important for the younger generation to learn throughout their educational experience. It allows for a better understanding of themselves, along with the understanding of others. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to explain to you why sex education is vital to the educational and societal impact of children starting middle school and throughout the rest of their careers in lives based on and conducted from multiple organizations that I have within. So to begin, we are going to learn a couple statistics on why there should be sex education in every public school in the United States. According to the Office of Public Affairs, the teen pregnancy rate of females right now, aged 15 to 19, is 18.8 out of 1,000 females. So that doesn't seem too high, and it actually isn't compared to years in the past. But if you think about it, if you went to a school with 500 kids, that means that almost 10 kids out of your class or out of the graduating class or whatnot were actually pregnant. This includes cost of everything, so there's high costs in healthcare, which includes like going to the emergency room, going to doctors, going to places like that, even clinics that even cost less or cost nothing. It also has an emotional cost, which is emotional cost on the family, on yourself. And finally, there is financial costs, which most of us know about. This includes like the baby, how much that's going to cost, and also many other aspects of that. Along with this statistic, young people aged 15 to 24 account for half of all the new STD cases. That's extremely high, and it keeps going up since then. According to Brenner et al., the Centers of Disease Control collaborate with state and local education to come up with school health profiles. So pretty much the CDC recognizes all of the STDs and things like that, while the educators also look at pregnancies and things like that. And they also they come together to kind of come up with a curriculum based on all the statistics that they've conducted throughout regarding overall health and sex education. So sex education includes topics such as birth control. According to research done by Guttmacher Institute on birth control, 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 3 boys did not receive instructions on birth control other than from their parents. So some of these kids don't even know about what birth control is or anything like that except from their parents, which their parents might have misinformation instead of schooling and things like that. So in this graph, let me grab the graph real quick. So this graph right here kind of shows the detail of what I was talking about with the overall statistics of the kids who didn't know about any contraceptives or anything like that. So it kind of shows like that 22% and that 35% of those kids that had no idea besides what their parents were telling them. So teens in rural communities experience declines in multiple areas of sex education. Because of this, rural teens are more susceptible to negative health outcomes compared to their urban peers. So negative health outcomes are those pregnancies and those STDs that I was talking about in the past. Rural areas offer less access to reproductive health services. This includes Planned Parenthoods, and sometimes they even don't have access to actual hospitals within like a 10-minute radius. So they have to go outside of their communities in order to get there. Although teen pregnancy rates are at an all-time low, allowing for more education and public schooling would allow for these numbers to be even lower than that. One reason why there is a decline is the fact that there's improved contraceptives, so birth control right now is at a 99% effective rate, so a lot of kids are gaining onto that and learning about that and also getting onto it. Teens are beginning to use more than ever before, like I just stated. If more teens were educated on it, there would be more contraceptives being used consistently and effectively. In order for more to be done regarding sex education, there needs to be more federal and state funding to all schools, which I'm not going to get into politics, but you see a lot of Planned Parenthoods and things like that going under a little bit because of, like I said, politics, and I'm not going to get into that. There's also needs to be improved curriculum of all organizations and schools working together. So the CDC and everybody who comes up with those curriculums need to do a better job coming together and specifying what they want to do instead of giving a generic and basic outcome of these curriculums. So it allows for more resources to be shared with the age group of that 12 through 19, which is middle school through high school, and allow for a better understanding for each of these teens. So like I stated before, these state guidance, most of these programs are guided by the states and public school systems, but the real ones are those public school systems that are allowing for these things to happen, so they need to be sitting in on these classes and making sure that these kids are actually getting educated on what they're trying to teach and trying to put out there. So in conclusion, in today's society, the pressures of sex among youth will be something that cannot be controlled. Shaping the youth's mindset by educating them in the public school system is something that we can control. Sex education allows for teens to receive a better understanding of the overall effect of their decisions. Although teen pregnancies rates have gone down, a better understanding of sex at a young age could reduce the risk even more. Higher STD rates among specific age groups show that an implementation of sex education course in every school can have an impact on lowering that overall STD rates. Thank you.